Here, Ukrainians managed to breach several Russian defensive positions and assault multiple settlements that are protecting the northern Bakhmut's flank. The main axis of the attack became Berkivka. After the regular Russian forces exhausted their offensive capabilities and failed to recapture the tactical heights around Bakhmut, as reported by the Russian Ministry of Defense, Russian forces conducted a tactical regrouping to more reliable positions. The head of the Wagner Group, Prigozhin, who spent considerable resources gaining the ground that the regular forces were losing, immediately stated that the fact that Ukrainians captured all tactical heights meant that the fall of Berkivka and the whole northern flank was just a matter of time. Over the last week, after achieving their tactical objectives in the southern part of the region, Ukrainian forces could finally prioritize the northern flank. Judging by the combat footage, Ukrainians opened multiple vectors of attacks. The first attack was launched south of the railways. As Prigozhin himself mentioned in an interview, the combination of tree lines and the embankment makes it very easy for a mechanized group to quickly close the distance and assault the trenches. The second line of attack became the pathway between the reservoir and the railways. Russian sources reported that Ukrainians lost multiple tanks and armored fighting vehicles and that their attempt to take Berkivka completely failed. However, Berkivka was not the main goal of this attack. The main purpose of this attack was to clear all the tree lines between the reservoir and railways in order to set conditions for what was coming next. And the next Ukrainian attacks were directed toward Yahidny. So, by improving their tactical position in the vicinity of Berkivka, Ukrainians effectively blocked Russians from conducting a flank attack and undermining their offensive efforts. The head of the Wagner Group, Prigozhin, was asked to evaluate the situation, and he said that his reconnaissance crews clearly recorded that Ukrainians had indeed populated the tree lines and entrenched themselves even more. In the meantime, the intensity of engagements around Yahidny has been increasing significantly. Russian sources indirectly confirmed that Ukrainians are attacking Berkivka and Yahidny, while the Ukrainian Deputy Defense Minister stated that Ukrainian forces managed to advance by up to 1.5 kilometers, which is precisely the distance between Yahidny and the previous Russian defense line in the tree lines. Ukrainian 57th Motorized Rifle Brigade released a highly graphic video of how those Russian soldiers who were trying to escape the heat only got under devastating mortar fire that instantly killed the entire squad. Ukrainian 14th Mechanized Brigade released a video showing how they were destroying Russian tanks in the vicinity of Yahidny. Ukrainian 77th Airmobile Brigade showed how they were destroying enemy ammunition depots and equipment also in Yahidny. The sentiment of the Ukrainian fighters that are reporting news from Bakhmut is quite positive, and they also signaled that many moves are not being reported yet. However, if everything goes according to the plan, Ukrainians will be able to slice off the Russian salient north of Bakhmut and start moving further. In fact, there is already a lot of footage that shows how Ukrainian artillery has started undermining the next Russian defense line, namely in Blahodat and Pidharan. Today, Ukrainians also released footage of the aftermath of a successful Ukrainian attack in the vicinity of Sako Ivantseti. Such actions are not only stretching Russian forces along the whole front line but also indicate that the scale of the potential offensive is much bigger, and just like last time, Ukrainians may very well end up conducting several back-to-back counteroffensive operations on various parts of the front line.